My name's Gareth Butler and welcome to Kingsholm in Vision. On Kingsholm in Vision this week, we have a Scottish scrum-half special, new head coach Bryan Redpath on Sunday's game against Bath, and the best and worst of Rory Lawson. First up, new head coach Bryan Redpath, who is looking forward to his first game in the hot seat on Sunday.
You know, everybody's has had, at the end of last season, questioned a little bit of players' desire or who was right for this or what was right for that. And I think, you know, the players just need to go out, and I've said it all along, that I believe the club is the biggest thing they should think of, and you should give everything to play for your club. And I think that's where I still stand. Bath are a very good side, we know that, and we're never going to underestimate it. But I do believe if we get the right core values amongst us all, we'll give ourselves a chance to win the game. I'm sure if people say that they're happy and they turn up and they're delighted the way that the players gave everything, and they'll come back the following week and support again, and they'll get results off the back of it because of the core things that they've set. And they've got to put their hand up and understand that some of these core values or questions were thrown at them as well. It wasn't just thrown at the coaching staff, it was thrown at everyone involved. And that's what it is. We're all involved, we've all got, you know, a responsibility to make sure that we give what people want, and in that it's not about how flash or how fancy or anything like that. Some of the core values are just based on what you bring to the table every time you pull in the jersey, and that's all I'm after, is make sure that they do that. If they do that, then you just never know where results or performances take you.
As far as getting Bath first up, is that something that you sort of relish? I mean, if you were given a list of the teams, would you have picked Bath at Kingsholm as your first?
I wouldn't have picked anybody, but certainly not get any worries about it. I think it's, as I say, it's a great one to test everybody, to see what we've done over the last 3 months, to see if we've all agreed that what we want to be judged on and how we want to be perceived for playing for Gloucester. Well, then there's no bigger test to come out against Bath, a very good rugby playing side. Now in that, we're going to get tested on Sunday, and we're going to find out how true to our word every player is. Now, not how true to my word, I don't play the game. How true to theirs. If they've agreed with me over the last 2 or 3 months and the other coaches that some of these things have to get back in our game, then they're going to get judged on Sunday in that. That's all I ask, is they get out there and the talk is cheap, and they get out there and they do what they've said, and we agree with what we've said, and we go out and we buy into it, and we battle on to whatever happens. You can't predict a win or a loss.
Been damage done to rugby's reputation?
Well, I think that the reputation has been questioned and certainly been challenged a little bit, and you know what it's come from in the past, and it being, you know, quite an honest game and what have you. But it's just life, you know. I mean, every walk of life has a change or a different thing in it, and I think you can overemphasise, you can dwell, you can panic about certain things, and certainly I'm not one to judge either. So all I'm interested in is getting Gloucester back out playing Kingsholm on Sunday against, you know, one of the best sides in the Premiership, a local derby that I want the people to come and support us on, and then judge us on the back of that. And then I'm happy to have opinions from people, and I'm happy to listen and understand them. And if the players give what they want to be perceived in from the supporters who are very loyal and committed to Gloucester, then if they give what they want to be known as or judged as, then I can't ask any more of that. And as I say, it's never about winning and losing or points at the end of the day. It's about, you know, the commitment levels to playing for Gloucester. I've said it from day one that I think the club ethos has to be one and only thing that's important is Gloucester, and whatever player plays, whatever squad number you are or whoever age you are, if you play for Gloucester, you're expected to give everything. And I'm sure the boys will, and then sometimes it'll go wrong. It's never about mistakes. It's not through someone dropping a pass or anything. It's about just being, you know, very focused on what we need to do and getting the crowd behind us. That I think sometimes it's easy to say that the crowd do have an influence, but you know they actually do. They are a massive support to the players, and I think, you know, the players understand it, but they've got to give something back to get the support. So Sunday, let's just hope that, you know, we've all agreed to what we want out of it, and let's just see what happens.
You must be desperate to get going, fed up of that, answering the same questions from people like me.
Oh, exactly. You know, I can only be nice to you for so long, and you know, I'm struggling now. But yeah, I am desperate. The boys are desperate. We just want to get on with it.
Next we have a new feature for you. Scrum-half Rory Lawson gives us his best and worst.
Winning the Calcutta Cup against England in the Six Nations. I think losing any finals. I've lost a couple here quite convincingly, which is always disappointing with all the work that's gone into them. So yeah, the two finals I've lost with Gloucester. Freddie Dupree. It's a good question. Sinbad on his day. Toughest opponent, Marty Holla. Arsenal. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Best try I've scored. Enjoyed my try against Bath last season. There are one or two others, but that was the one that would stick in my mind.
And finally, here's Rory again on competing for places with whippersnappers Dave Lewis and Jordi Pasqualin. Seems that the Scots really are taking over at Gloucester. You've got the man in charge Scottish now. You've got the chairman. He's Scottish. I mean,
we're taking over the world.
Are you lining yourself up for a coaching role after?
I'm a bit young for that yet. Come on. No, I think it's just the way it's happened, really. But no, I mean, I think it's good. I think the guys have brought something a little bit different to the club, and I think the blend we've got at the club now is great. I think that's multinational, multilingual in some cases. So yeah, no, I think it's a good combination.
Do you think it's just the way it's happened, or do you think there's some sort of part of the Scottish makeup that fits at Gloucester? Is that?
As a Scotsman, you come up through age groups rugby, and you're always up against it a little bit, with resources and so on and so forth. I think as a result of that, you rarely find a Scotsman or a Scottish person who has their back against the wall and doesn't come out fighting, and who doesn't know that they've got to work hard for everything that comes their way. So I don't know whether that's an attribute that's, I guess it's an attractive one for a lot of people, because you know that hard work's where it starts, really. But I think in many ways that is just the way it's happened. But it's certainly the Scots have been a hard-working bunch.
You had Keeps alongside you last season, competing for the shirt, and you, obviously Dave Lewis picked up the injury, and now you've got two youngsters in Dave and Jordi competing for your position. I mean, does that sort of keep you on your toes? I mean, how are you reacting to the two pretenders coming in?
I think, to be honest, I could be here as the only scrum half, and I'd always be on my toes. I've never been one to rest on my laurels, and with these two whippersnappers biting at the old heels, it's never going to be something that starts. They're both really good players. I think every one of us is going to play an important part in this season, so it's about working together, supporting each other, and really, when it comes to your opportunity, you've got to step up and perform, and if you don't, then you might fall down the pecking order. And if there is such a thing, I think with the smaller squads this year, we're going to have to rely a lot on rotating a bit and pushing guys into positions whereby they'll be under a bit of pressure. So it's really important that us as the three scrum halves support each other through the whole season.
For all the latest on Gloucester Rugby, visit www.thisisgloucestershire.co.uk/Gloucester Rugby. Check back over the weekend for a Kingsholm Envision special with new head coach Bryan Redpath as he takes us through his career so far. My name's Gareth Butler, and that was Kingsholm Envision.